Now, as far as
the directions,
it's not really operating on the same scale as you. I mean, you get the idea that you could shout all you wanted to, and
we probably should be happy if it doesn't realize we are here. But it's wow.
Mm-hmm. The other thing that I will say is that it does not appear, the way that it moves does not appear disoriented. It does not look as though it is searching out a path or being careful. It looks as though it's moving, if anything is possible from its body language, possible to understand, it is that it is walking through an area that it knows and has done before. So there is a certain a sureness to its movements that you would associate with moving through known space.
You know, this might not be the best idea. But what if we follow it on a distance?
Actually, I was thinking of taking the opposite direction.
Going somewhere or just moving in the same area?
Oh, it's going somewhere.
It's going somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I want to follow it.
On a distance. Right? Skala.
Carefully?
Because
Carefully.
if it's big enough to go somewhere, then we should fit for it as well. So.
But we don't know what it's looking for.
No, but
Hopefully it goes somewhere important. I mean,
yeah.
Look at that thing. It's important, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's huge.
Okay.
Play it safe, and I just want to get home. Outvoted again.
Well, you said you were lost.
Yes, I did.
We're all lost.
So well.
Now the other person in your group is Jala, and she has something to talk to you about, which is that one of the holy days of the Cult of the Buried Dead has come today. And so it is a time when certain things have to be done, and she has certain duties to take care of at the temple. And when you are far away from the temple, then there are things you do privately to properly worship. And she's very concerned because she is not feeling the response of the god.
Okay.
And that there's a it's a horrifying feeling to her as an initiate and as somebody who was studying to become a priest. And from your perspective as well, this could be a problem because you maintain your relationship with the god by donating power on holy days and by carrying out the proper rituals and things like that. So
Okay.
it's not a disaster, but it's very disturbing
Yeah.
not to actually feel that presence.
So Jella would like to go back to where we came from, the temple.
Well,
Or-
she's concerned. Her theory is that is that the infinity rune and the other runes that were manifested from the ancient gods may actually have blasted your god out of that temple completely.
Yeah, because if I recall correctly, she said that that it seemed like the god went away.
Yes. And the hope was, from her perspective, was that once you got far enough away yourselves, everything would be fine
Yeah.
from that region.
Yeah.
But now she's particularly worried that this is kind of disastrous. It's a little bit like being told that one of the planets is gone, or something like that, from a modern perspective.
So is there some kind of ritual or something we could do, or something to sacrifice to maybe contact the gods and try to reach them?
That would be a great thing to do this properly. you would need to do it really properly. You actually need a priest, which would be the best idea.
Yeah.
Well, we all know what happened to him.
Yeah.
No, I don't. What you true? But anyway,
She wasn't there.
By now.
Yeah, I think they probably told you that they melted his brain, and that's, remember, you saw him step out of the temple and start attacking you all.
I start
with
realizing
strange-
that wasn't.
Right, exactly. So it's that's not available. So she says that the most important thing is to start from scratch. You need to have some kind of secret ancient knowledge that you build the worship around. For this god, you have to have something unknown except to the people who are doing this, and it needs to be placed in such a way that your job from now on, whoever takes care of that holy spot, make sure that it stays secret.
Oh, the spot where we will be doing this.
Right, correct.
Okay, so I was thinking the ancient thing. I have this vomit. Will that do?
What was it?
The vomit from the vomiter.
That's true. That's true. Okay, that is a very interesting point. That's a really good idea. However, unless we want to spend the next year sitting on this spot, on this rock, on this mountainside, maybe we should find somewhere that's a little bit more civilized to live before we set that up.
Okay.
So
That may
Jala's
not be
not quite
today.
ready to become the hermit priestess
Yeah.
out in the wilderness, even if it's with you. So
She feeling about wilderness like I'm feeling about cities.
a little bit, yeah.
I don't think Nile ska
I'm
or
really
Sword
sorry
would stay
for her.
anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sit around.
Now now for the consequences of your failed sneaking rolls.
Oh.
Of course. And so the effects are that, well, it's only fair to give you some scans. You know that you made this terrible noise and you were all amazed by this giant, but it is not... I doubt you were so stupid as to completely fail to keep an eye out on everything. And as I say, you are aware that you failed your sneak rolls. It's not a mystery. So I assume you're being kind of alert to your surroundings.
Yes.
So why don't you roll for some scanning?
Everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Hey!
Oh, 98 and I got 65.
Oh shit,
No.
94.
Mhm.
That's
17.
really bad.
Okay,
Okay, 60.
so
Oh,
it's not a fumble. Is it?
no, but close, right?
Well, let's see if where
It's
is your
60.
at 60. Let's see. I don't know why I'm having such trouble with it.
It's late in the evening.
Okay, well, first of all, one thing about
It's
this game,
5%, right?
yeah, one thing about this game that is worth pointing out is that fumbles and criticals properly apply only to combat. So we've been playing them as applying to every role because that's how role-playing games evolved over the years, but I finally realized that I was misplaying our ancient rules and that there are
But
no
it's
criticals
bad
and
enough.
fumbles, but it's bad enough, yes. So there's no consequence for that specifically except that it is a failure. So now I want to have
Running head
you
first
be
into a
aware
tree.
Mm-hmm.
that there are some sort of creatures moving through the branches of the trees nearby. And
No, just for safety measure, let's do it once more. Maybe they were too far away or something last time. Detect enemies.
right, well, this is very different. When you detected enemies before, these
Yep.
particular creatures did not know you were there.
Yeah.
That's before the four of you blundered through the wilderness and broke every possible branch and fell on the rocks a few times and whatever else it was you did. And so now, alerted to your presence, you are definitely dealing with some enemies in the sense of pure carnivorous desire to drain your fluids.
Yeah, you know what? Without looking in that direction, without I was gonna slowly mention to these two. We got enemies. Maybe we should draw a bow. In the tree works over there.
Do you? Oh, sorry.
On my way.
Yeah, I'm not gonna stop reaching for her on fire.
I was wondering, will you recognize if they move swiftly or if they take time?
Well, you have an idea. Yes, these are creatures that are moving fairly quickly through the branches.
Okay.
Yeah.
Out of reach, but not out of bowshot.
One hopes, anyway.
Yep.
So I assume you have pointed.
Yeah, I pointed out like the tree works over there.
Okay, so the four of you quickly,
Getting ready.
Yeah.
the four of you quickly spread out in the right configuration.
Yeah.
For defense, but the with your pointing to them, everybody is prepared to see them as they are approaching, and they are these shiny white and black segmented creatures that are not mammals at all.
All right.
And they seem to leap and cling from branch to branch. They're about this big each, and when they leap, they uncoil. And then when they land, their tails, trailing parts, whip around, and they become round again.
Okay, so now that I've seen them, can
That's
I
an
do
easy
a
target.
roll? Or is it cult lore or something?
If you want to,
Yeah, I would like to. Thank you.
Roll that one again.
67.55.
Oh well. Okay, you have no idea what these creatures are. They are not any creature you have read about before. If you had succeeded at all, I would have told you that they are clearly related in some way to the insect beings. There must be all sorts of different insect creatures, right, in this region. But you are not thinking like a good zoologist at the moment. You are a little bit worried about this whole blood-sucking thing, and so you don't make the connection.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, actions.
Great.
Yeah.
I want to cast Blade Sharp as soon as possible.
Well, in that case, that's 5.
5 strike ranks.
Well, actually, how many points? 2?
2.
1 strike rate.
1 strike rank.
Mhm.
All right.
Wait, is that correct?
Is that correct?
No, it's 1 strike rank to cast,
And
but
then-
it takes 5 to prepare it. So you are coming in on 6.
Okay, base rank 4.
Alright, so even though I had my focus rune-
12. Okay, so yeah, actually you could get it off in the 2nd strike rank.
All right.
Right.
Great.
Do I want to spend? I want to spend some power on Farsi, even though that probably costs me time.
Mm-hmm.
How much? Because it doesn't
How many?
say.
How much power is it?
1.
1. So that is no strike
Okay,
ranks, but
okay.
5 to do the spell. So that puts you on strike rank 5.
No, because I'm going to use the bow anyway. It's
Right.
fine because that doesn't come in before
Right.
7, so I'll see them better before I
Right.
can shoot them.
Correct.
That's fine.
Okay. So
I go for that.
how about you?
I do not want to throw my axe here, so I will wait until they get closer so I can strike them.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't
Okay.
want to lose my
Okay.
axe.
So you are getting prepared.
Yeah.
Okay.
We did say last time that multi-missile is 1 target, right?
Multi-missile is 1 target, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm not going to use it.
Right. Okay. So that is your situation and yours. You are simply preparing to strike. What is your strike rank with the axe?
Where's the strike?
Throwing
The base is 5, so 9.
Okay. So if one is in reach as of 9, you will be able to attack it.
Okay.
If you have to run around a little bit to go find one, then that will take a little more time.
Okay.
All right.